What's up, guys? It's Michael here. In this video, we're going to talk about the most controversial topic now is not happening in the financial world. It's becoming a major trend of whether or not should you get a college degree or not. Based on my understanding, there are only two ways on this. So looking back at previous history, college degree used to be a thing. Everyone should go to college. That's what they used to say. And because back then, college itself was the only way to get knowledge, which you need to progress in society. But based on today, when the growth of technology increases, education itself is now becoming way easier and more affordable to obtain. Certain degrees do require a college degree, while some of them honestly do not require a college degree. So there's only broken down to two factors. Whether do you want to be an employer or you want to be the employee. In my case, I want to be the employer. I want to hire employees. So I thought college wasn't the right option for me. And at the end, it's based on what you want to do in the future. So let's look on the first side. What majority of people say going to college is the right thing to do. So when you go to college, you got to look at several main factors. What type of degree you're going to get? What you're going to do with that degree in the future? And what type of lifestyle you're going to chase afterwards when doing that degree. So there's a bunch of degrees. For example, let's say becoming a doctor, engineer, lawyer. Those type of jobs require a degree because in the internet, no one can become a doctor without, going through tests and trials because it's really important to save lives and life is on the line when you're doing that job. So that's a different story compared to becoming an entrepreneur. So yes, that requires a degree. Becoming a doctor, would that make you a lot of money? That's actually a yes and a no. So it depends what you do with your money afterwards. So becoming a doctor can make you money, but if you don't invest at the end, you're just nothing more than an employee working for whatever field you're in. And the same applies for being a lawyer, being like a CPA. Those, if you're gonna go to college for that, yes, do it. Go to college just because you want to pursue that job or hobby. If you're going to college, like for example, if you're going to art degree, philosophy, I had to break it to you guys. Before then, becoming a teacher was actually a really great thing to do. But now in today's society, becoming a teacher is actually a lot less feasible. I believe in California, becoming a teacher, you actually do not make a lot. And you kind of look at the stress load too. So when you work as an employee, you have to dedicate hours per week that you got to do for your job. So you got to ask yourself, are you willing to spend that amount of time for the next, let's say 30 to 40 to even 50 years of your life doing that same job? Would you enjoy it? You got to ask yourself this. If you answer no, then maybe college is not the answer for you. Maybe you should find a different hobby. Find something you like to do, and you have to make it work for you too. So if you find a hobby and it doesn't make you money, then that's not sustainable in modern day society. That means college or that specific degree in college is not the right way for you. And people were chasing like arts, philosophy. If you're gonna get a degree for that, I found that basically useless because you can basically learn it online. And if you want to make money from that instead of getting a degree, for example, art would be like one of the best examples. You can just go online. I see a lot of people go on websites like DeviantArt, Tumblr, any of those social media websites, start drawing art and try to do commissions on like Fiverr and stuff to become like a contractor work. And once you start making like portfolios and stuff and showing it off and putting it on like YouTube, then more people will find you. If more people find you, then you have something to show. You have something to market. So going to degree to get an arts degree, forget it. Just, and you got to do that. Why don't you just go freelancing instead? That's way better. But if you're doing jobs like a doctor, you're doing some work like lawyer or like CPA, those are jobs that will not be able to take away because it's really complicated and robotics will not be able to do it anytime soon because, hate to break it to you, if the law was always the same, then yeah, robotics can take it over. But since the law always changes, in the medical field and in the lawyer field and CPAs, including taxes, there's no way robotics or any future jobs can take it away that easily. It's very difficult. And that is all for whether you want to go to college or not. The other side, which one's person I find it more feasible for me, is not going to college. If you don't go to college, what do you do? I hate it to break it to most people. Most people should not actually take this route. This route is actually very difficult and very stressful, is becoming an entrepreneur. meaning that your job afterwards is to create businesses and you cannot be afraid to fail. You will have to take risk as an entrepreneur. For example, what I do is an Amazon FBA business, and it took me about 2 years to make it successful to get where I am today. And a lot of people cannot do this because it requires a lot of income backing from sources, from your family and friends. And becoming an entrepreneur also makes it really difficult because it's really disheartening when you are doing it the first time, because it's not like school. You do it a few times and you pass, and it's like you do it one time, it's like, yes, it works. That's it. I'm finally, set for life. No, that's not how it works. When you do it, you got to do it consistently. It's basically, you got to treat it as doing homework in school. If you don't do homework in school, then your grades go down. In the entrepreneur or the financial world, you don't do it, then another competitor comes and kicks your butt and kicks you out of the space. That's how it works. It's really competitive. And as an entrepreneur, you got to learn that when you are as an employer, you got to think about, how does your business structure work? Does your business model work for you? If your business model is not feasible, then you got to restructure and figure out yourself. You basically learn along the way. And the only way you learn is by failing as an entrepreneur, then correcting the mistakes that you do along the way. First things first, as an entrepreneur, I can tell you that learning is by failing. If you don't fail, then you won't learn. That's how you do it. So for example, I can give advice saying that, let's say you want to do in the construction business, you want to be like a handyman. So in my opinion, going to school to get a degree for that is pretty much in like the 50-50 side. It's like iffy. It really depends. Because there's a lot of stuff that you can actually do online and you can learn online while having actual experience instead of paying for classes. Then you get that experience, then you can basically start showing it off, that what your skill can be. For example, places to show off your skills, if you're doing it as like construction worker or handyman, is posting videos online showing that what you can do, what's your skill, how do they contact you. That's a good example of becoming a business owner and an entrepreneur. If you're gonna do that for arts, then your best thing to do, like I mentioned earlier, then you gotta show it off, showcase what you can do. The most important thing as an entrepreneur, besides your product, having a good product is one thing, but the second thing is eyeballs. How do people find you? And how do you show that other people that you're actually at that level, you're actually that good? That's when they start contacting you, then it's like a snowball effect. One person finds you, then all of a sudden you get referrals. When you get referrals, it just grows. That's how it works in the financial world. And that's how you build connections. And you compare it to the college side, those are two different things what you want to do at the end. At the end, in summary, compare it to where you should go to college or not. It really depends on what type of lifestyle you want. If you want to go to college, get a stable job, and not have to worry about anything, you can't worry. You do have to worry about some stuff, such as what happens if you lose your job, like this current pandemic. Then just making small investments, you'll be fine. You'll be set for life. If you want to go through that route, go for it. If you want to go the route where you have financial freedom, you can actually only work like the 4-hour work week, then you have to take the entrepreneur route. The entrepreneur route is the one to get you to financial freedom. Basically saying those people who talked about 4-hour work weeks, the only way to do it is becoming a business owner, not the employee. So to cap it up, based on where you should go to college or not, is the lifestyle you want to choose. If you want to choose financial freedom, there's a couple things you have to consider. What are the things you want to do where you're able to be persistent and keep it until you make it until the end? And also, when as an entrepreneur, you got to find the type of product or business or service that you personally like to do and you're willing to put through multiple years of it until you reach your goal. And when you're doing it, you cannot be afraid to fail. If you cannot do that, then I think your best route is to go to college and get a degree. But get a degree, if you do go to college, get one that is something cannot be taken away and something you cannot do, such as become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, CPA, stuff like that. Those type of degrees are degrees you go to college for. All the rest, forget it. And at the end, it's all about choosing your lifestyle. I'll see you next time on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.